welcome back to, I've already been laughing for at least 20 minutes now, okay? But welcome back to Winter Garden Coffee and Collab. I am Martha Krejci. I am here with Jeff Lawrence. He is, let me read it because I don't want to mess it up, the Director of Spiritual Development at Foundation Academy. My baby goes to Foundation. She's starting to go back there in the fall. I'm so excited.
Few days.
Few days, yeah. Yes. And Jeff and I go way back. So if you're watching this and you're like, I feel like I'm just in the living room with them, it's going to feel like that because we go way back and have laughed until we've cried about many, many different things. So, Jeff, it's good to see you, man.
Yeah, good to see you too.
Again.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
This is awesome.
In a different space, in a different
place.
Yeah, we're at Canon Coffee today. So if you guys haven't been to Canon Coffee before, it is a true delight. It's like in a house. It's got a cool little vibe to it. They have great, how's your drink?
It's awesome.
Yeah, what'd you get?
Awesome. I got the 42 West.
42 West. I don't even know what that means.
Which is a white chocolate mocha with a little bit of cinnamon in it. Oh my It's good.
Gosh, that
Very
sounds
good.
Extraordinary.
I just tried it.
Love it.
It's
I
good.
got a dirty chai because I always do a dirty chai.
Highly recommend.
Cheers. All right. You want to just jump into this?
Let's just jump in.
Let's just jump in.
Let's do this.
Cool. All right. Let's see here. I'm not going to jump into a legacy one real quick, but let me ask you this first. So, say Foundation Academy worship team gets a surprise invite to perform at a Plant Street block party, which has happened.
Right. Right.
What's the set list? So you have control over this. So what's the set list? And are you on vocals, keys, or crowd hype duty?
Oh. My goodness. So I'm on keys.
Okay.
So I'd definitely be on keys.
All right.
You don't want me on probably crowd hype. So on keys. And so it's a set list that's a block party.
A block
right?
party in Plant Street. Yes.
Okay. So everybody's invited. So this is like for the whole everybody. So
Yes.
what we might do is start off with just some good secular pieces.
Yeah.
Right? So depending on who's actually singing on the team would probably impact this. So we could do some good 70s, 80s stuff.
Yeah.
You know, maybe something like Celebrate by Kool and the Gang.
Oh my goodness. Do you think Clay would pop in for this?
Oh yeah, he would totally do that.
That's funny.
He could be cool.
Yeah.
And I'd just be in the gang over here playing keys.
I'd be the gang.
Yeah, something fun like that. It kind of attracts people, gets them singing. You know, you could do with Clay, if Clay's going to be in it, then you could go to like a Kansas song like Dust in the Wind, or you could do, you know, Hotel California by the Eagles, or some stuff like that. And then kind of switch over to some more sacred stuff.
Yes.
Right? Mm-hmm. Which could be anything like one of our favorites is the name of the song, Empty Grave. I'm trying to remember it. Yeah, it's a Celebrate. It's Empty Grave. I can't remember it. I've got so many songs in my brain.
It's fine. Yes.
You would just go to that so that some of the people would probably know some of those songs.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
So it'd be just fun, a little kind of upbeat.
I love it.
Does that make sense?
It does. It does make sense. And I know what song you're talking about, and I can see the CD cover.
Yes.
I cannot.
It'll come to me somewhere before we stop.
Yeah.
And I'll just blurt it out.
Blurt it out.
Yeah.
Just do that. I didn't need to tell you to do that. You were going to do that anyway.
I'll do it anyhow, because I'm sitting here trying to stew on it right now.
I love it. I love it. Okay, here's like a more. This one's gonna hit a little bit, I think. So, when you feel off track, what's your go-to move? Is it a prayer walk, music, calling a mentor, Chick-fil-A drive-through, or something totally unique? And then we'll start the game a little bit.
Yeah. So when I'm off, I know I need time alone.
Yeah. Yep. I'm the same way.
Right. Mm-hmm. So it probably means I'm too stretched. Mm-hmm. I've been talking too much. I've been around people too much because the way I operate is when I'm around people, I'm giving, but I rarely receive. You know, so that's that kind of introverted extrovert type thing going on. So what I do is I find time alone, and that could be either reading, it can be on a walk, it can be on a bike ride. Sometimes it's a day. If I feel it over a certain amount of time, then I look at Lisa and I say, we need to get away.
Yeah.
And so it'll be 2 to 3 days, just unplugging. It can be going to the beach. One of my favorites is the mountains.
Yeah.
I love going to the mountains.
Like Tennessee area?
Yeah, that's the closest.
Smokies?
That's the
Okay.
closest. This past summer, we went to Glacier out in Montana.
Yeah.
So it's those times with quietness that I can then kind of see through the fog and the haze and reconnect with the purposes that God has for my life, right?
Right.
Hear from Him. So that's kind of that's how I react.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. Let's start this game
This
because
right
I
here?
almost completely just biffed the game altogether.
All right.
So this is our slappy hands game. If we've played it before on here, and we'll play it again sometime. But basically, the whole goal, yes, Jeff, the whole goal of the game is to try to get this disc, like that, like so.
We've already started.
Okay, I'm gonna try. So it's like,
Do we go at the same time?
Something off the floor. Yeah. Wait. Oh, I don't think we do it at the same time. I don't think we do it at the same time. Jeff, you're chaos. We take turns.
I don't know.
Oh my word.
Okay.
Okay. So you can you go.
You go.
You go. I'm gonna find.
You see that?
You
It's
got
on the
it
floor again. I got it again, people.
I'm done with this game.
Look
with
at
you.
this. Okay, your turn.
Okay, I'm gonna try, and then we're going into another question.
Not good. Burnt. Oh.
Where are you? I need to see I need to see how you're doing your little angle. Oh, it's
There we go again.
3-0. I just drooled on
3-0.
myself. Okay. All right. Listen,
All right.
we're moving back to questions. This is not fun for me. Oh my gosh. Okay. So choose your Winter Garden dream day. Okay. So start to finish, what's your perfect local day off? Where are you going? Who's with you? And what's on the playlist? Oh, another playlist.
Okay, so the perfect Winter Garden specifically, day is when it's sometime in the winter. So let's say January, February,
Okay.
and the high is going to be 72 degrees.
Oh, yeah.
And it's clear skies.
Yes.
And we put the bikes on the back of the Jeep and we drive it into Winter Garden, me and Lisa, that's my wife.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Sometimes it would be me and Jake.
Uh-huh.
But since she's watching this, I need to make sure it's me and Lisa.
It's
and
Lisa.
so
Yes.
we would drive into Winter Garden, we take the bikes off, and then we ride the trail.
Yeah.
Right? And so on my set list, I would say I've got this set list that I usually use when I'm working out.
Okay.
A lot of the times it's a podcast.
Yeah. I listen to podcasts all the time.
All the time.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So in the morning, like this morning, I have a specific podcast that I'm working through right now.
Yeah.
So when it comes to music, I love anything 80s.
Yeah. Oh.
Just 80s. And the reason I do is because a lot of people are this way is because I grew up, I graduated from high school in the 80s.
Yeah.
So if you ever seen Stranger Things, that was
literally
perfectly
his
right
life.
there when I
Except not literally his life.
no weird things
not the
coming from
under-
below
yeah,
and
yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
But when they went to prom, that was when I went to prom. I mean, it was
Oh my
exactly the
gosh.
same time. So all that 80s music, I love. So any and all.
I love this because I grew up on 80s music too, because my sister my brothers and sisters are like 13, 14, 15 years older than me.
Right.
And so I grew up listening to what they were listening to.
Right.
And because they were 13 when I was born, and so I would just hear all of that stuff. And anyway, we also listened to a lot of like sort of the church music of the 80s.
Yeah.
So
Oh, yeah.
a la Keith Green, a la Michael Card.
Yes.
A la,
Amy Grant, Michael W. Smith.
Oh yeah, Michael W. Smith.
Yep.
We played Michael W. Smith the other day.
Yeah.
Like the old stuff, where you hear the synthesizer.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Petra.
Yeah, Petra. I'm
Petra,
trying to think
DeGarmo
of
and Key, David Meese.
acapella, Glad.
Glad. Oh my goodness, Glad.
Right?
I hadn't
Glad was my
that
first
in
concert.
Ever.
Yeah. Right?
Oh my goodness.
You're welcome. You're
Yeah.
gonna go listen to it on the way home. Yes.
Glad.
Right? Exactly. So I love that. I love that. I mean, it was a cool era. It was a cool time. It was before things got real weird. Things got weird pretty fast.
It did. It did.
Yeah.
Well, I think Christian music at that time, it was born out of the Jesus movement.
Yeah, right.
And then it really solidified. It really found its footing right there in the 80s. And so there were a lot. Before that, you didn't have Christian music per se. It was you went to church and sang hymns.
Hymnals, yeah.
Hymns or spiritual songs, which would be like Bill Gaither.
Yeah, right.
Right.
Oh, the Gaither.
The Gaithers,
yeah.
right? So
Homecoming.
they were writing songs that were kind of more spiritual songs than hymns, right? So they were writing all that. But then along came the Jesus movement, and along came some of those original artists who then began to create this music, this new music.
Yeah.
And so I'm Generation X. So that was my generation.
Generation X?
Isn't that right? Am I Generation X?
I don't know.
Gen X? I think it's Gen X.
Oh, Gen X.
Gen X.
It's weird when you say generation.
Generation X.
It's a very Gen X
I was just
thing
saying
to
that
say.
case generation.
Sorry.
Gen X. So Gen X, I think we were right there, and so what's really cool is, I grew up with all that. I grew up in Orlando, so all those artists would come to Night of Joy at the Magic Kingdom.
Yeah.
I remember seeing Amy Grant singing My Father's Eyes on the stage at the castle.
I love that.
And her accompanist, her keyboardist, was a unknown guy named Michael W. Smith.
I didn't realize he was her keyboardist.
He was, that's how he got started. So he was on keys and she had him do one song. And so this is the first time anybody had heard of him. So, I mean, all of that stuff's growing. And then it kind of morphed into others. I was saying DeGarmo and Key, David Meese, then along came Petra, Stryper, and it changed music in the church.
Yeah.
The reality is that was my generation that then began to kind of morph some of the way that we expressed our worship within the church was related more to what we were listening to.
Yeah.
Which that was the first time, really.
That's wild. I had never even thought about that. That's wild.
Yeah.
What do you, let's talk a little bit about the Jesus movement. What do you think that looks like for us today, right now?
So the Jesus movement was really...
Tell them what the Jesus movement is if they don't know.
So the Jesus movement was born out of this in the 60s, 1960s. And it began as a movement in California with kind of the hippies at the time, who all of a sudden, some really strong churches began to reach the hippies with a strong message of the gospel.
Yeah.
And they started coming to Christ, radically coming to Christ by huge numbers. They would even go down to the Pacific Ocean and they would baptize hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, thousands and thousands and thousands.
Yeah.
So this whole movement occurred. And what was interesting is when it was born, they didn't have a place to land.
Yeah.
So you got these hippies, they're still hippies, but they're Jesus hippies now. They can't go into a normal church.
Yeah.
These people looking around going, what is going on?
Because the church was a little bit pharisaical at that time. There were some churches that were very, you don't check the box of what you should look like.
You don't look right.
You
You don't sound right. So there's not a place for you.
Yeah.
But that all changed. And so some great churches began to grow up who was reaching them. And it's interesting, over time, one of the people, the music was born from that movement, by the way.
Yeah.
So these artists just began to do their thing, sing their music, and it became something. So interestingly, there was a moment with the new Jesus music that was part of the Jesus movement
Yeah.
where it was hitting a wall. In other words, we're introducing drums and bass guitar and acoustic guitar into the church. Church is going, oh, that's of the devil. And
Yeah,
so
right.
they were reacting and saying, we're not going to do this. And there was one gentleman, there was one guy that changed everything. And this is interesting. A lot of people don't realize this. And that guy's name was Billy Graham.
Billy Graham.
And Billy Graham saw it. He saw what was going on. He heard the church and he chastised the church. He said, you don't do that. And you know what he did? He started inviting these new Jesus movement musicians to his crusades.
Wow.
That's all he had to do.
Right.
Just these to his crusades, and it gave his stamp of approval. Because it had his stamp of
perform?
approval. Yes.
Wow.
Because it had his stamp of approval, it sent a message to the church. You need to open those doors. You need to rethink this. And they did.
Oh.
One guy.
Man.
One guy changed it all.
Billy Graham.
Oh.
Man.
Yeah.
Billy Graham.
Yep. Yeah.
And so what do you think this looks like today and where we are? Because it's like the pendulum swings. It goes back and it
Absolutely.
goes forth, and then you had the Jesus movement in the 60s and 70s, and then it backs off, and then we had a weird time in the 80s a little bit
Right,
where it
right.
went kind of the other way.
Yep.
And then we
Yep.
popped back forward. And so where do you think we are right now?
So in America, we're kind of unique because we have different trends here than they would over in Europe.
Yeah.
But there are some trends that are starting to assimilate. They're starting to come together in the States as well as over in Europe. And so one of those, interestingly, is a move from younger adults
Okay.
towards liturgical
Yes.
expressions of worship. Now, what does that mean? That just means a much more refined worship experience that's much more high and mysterious. So here's one of the things that has been said in Europe that's now starting to catch on here,
Okay.
and that this is a very interesting little comment. It's keep Christianity weird.
Oh, it's like Austin. Except
Keep-
not.
Except not.
Yeah.
Keep Christianity weird. Well, what is that? Well, that comes from an author called Tom Holland. Tom Holland, not Tom Holland as in Spider-Man.
Right.
Right? Tom Holland as a very famous historian, former atheist, who has come to Christ. Incredible. His work, Dominion, unbelievable. But so what Tom Holland says, he says, keep Christianity weird. What he's speaking to right there is he's saying, the young adults, the people who are coming back to the church, actually, which are trending young men,
Yeah.
are looking for something that's mysterious
Yeah.
and transcendent.
Yeah.
So what they're saying is, I can go to a bar and hear a band and hear, them sing a set list. I can do that at the local bar. I don't need to do that at church.
Yeah.
That's how. So what they're saying is, I want something that's higher,
Yeah.
that's transcendent, that's mysterious, that's built around liturgy, that's built around credences,
Yeah.
right? And that's actually where the trend is headed right now. So when they say keep it weird, what they're saying is don't look like everybody else.
Yes.
If I go to your church, I don't want to feel like I'm in a theater. So they're looking for these churches with stained glass, and it's interesting.
Yes.
Some of them are ending up in Greek Orthodox churches, right? Some of them
yeah.
are ending up in more liturgical churches, Episcopal, Lutheran, some Catholic
Yeah.
expressions of worship. So it's when you say the pendulum swings,
Yeah.
that's a pendulum that swung way
Yeah.
over, but it's interesting because it's telling us something,
Yeah, it is.
The
values.
Exactly. What
Yeah.
they're saying is, I'm coming out of a background that has no God. I'm coming from a home that has no God.
Yeah.
And I believe I am coming to faith, but when I go to worship and when I gather with others, I want a mysterious, transcendent experience that equals the mysterious and transcendent God of the Bible, right?
Yes.
And it's a little bit of an intellectual movement as well,
Yeah.
because as I mentioned, Tom Holland, he's one who kind of started this when he said, keep Christianity weird. You know, when you first hear that, you're like, what? You know,
Which
but
is
he
the
means,
point.
yes, but he means something totally different than
Yeah.
probably what we would tend to think, right?
Yeah.
So that's kind of the pendulum, and it's interesting because my generation was the one that kind of created it more to be like what we're used to. So for us, it was like, I want to go to church and have coffee that I like, hot coffee, trendy coffee. I want to have a real, talking about, I mean, my generation.
Yeah.
I want to have kind of cool seats, theater seats. Don't like the pews. Pews are that. So I want, you know, seats, and I want it more theater style, and that's going to make me comfortable because that's what I want.
Right.
That's called consumerism. So, and that's my generation. So now it's a reaction to that and saying, no, I can get that at theater. I can get that at the bar. I can get that in different places, which I go to. I want it to be unique and different. So that's kind of where we are.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. That's awesome.
Yep.
That's you're seeing with the generation that's coming up right now as young adults and I don't know, 25, 35, that sort of that range. What I'm seeing, just what I'm seeing, my perspective, not to say it's true and the only thing, but it's just what I'm seeing, is there's a lot of weight put on old school values, just the values of it all. And even to the point of, you know, do you know people are getting landline phones again?
No.
They are.
Really?
They're getting landline phones and they're putting away like their cell phones and only using them when they need to because they don't want the experience of being able to be reached all
Isn't
the time.
that interesting?
That's what I'm
You know-
saying. It's different.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. I love it.
I
Like
do
I want a
too.
landline phone now.
Well, you know, we've had this conversation in our house, and you know, we see the effect of mobile phones. You know, of the iPhone. We see the effect.
Yeah.
That's a whole conversation, right? You know, the anxious generation.
Conversation.
Yeah.
Yes.
The anxious generation, Jonathan Haidt, that whole thing.
Yep.
But the reality is, the phone has changed us.
Yeah.
And what we see trending in the wrong direction is anxiety, stress,
Yes.
right?
Yep.
Suicide rates, all of those things are going up, and they're correlating with social media and the phone.
Right.
So it's interesting because we've even talked about maybe we should go back to flip phone,
Yeah.
where it's actually a phone,
Yeah.
right?
And not a
Now,
tiny computer.
nobody's moved on it. You know?
Right.
It's like, yeah, let's do that.
You can talk about it.
It sounds good, but you know, I will have to say, the other day we were talking about it, and I said, well, how will we get directions where we need to go anymore, right? If I have a flip phone, I'll have to use a map or something.
Print out your MapQuest.
That's right.
Is MapQuest still around? It's got to be.
I would think so, but I don't know. You used to have to do that, right?
Yeah.
If you
Oh,
wanted
you
to get
print it
somewhere,
out?
you couldn't put it on
Then you
your
have to print it out on the way back too, because then your directions would be
exactly
in
because
order.
it's yes, exactly.
Or else you have to go backwards.
Or you could do Garmin. You could just do Garmin. Garmin is still
But
just
Garmin's
satellite.
after it.
Yeah,
Oh, but yes.
but that's still. I mean, you can still do that.
I hope they can follow us talking.
Garmin. Garmin. It's satellite.
We're like popcorning.
But you're right. I mean, it's people are wanting to go back, and I will say this, Martha, too. And this is one of the things we say at Foundation, and I tell our teachers this is, we teach that the gospel is true, and we give them good reason to know that.
Yeah.
That we have good evidence to be able to back that up, that it's true. But what we don't always do is also teach that it's beautiful and good.
Right.
And there are three longings, human longings: truth, goodness, and beauty. And so when we teach, it's not only true, but it's beautiful and it's good. And your deepest longings, your deepest search for meaning is only found in the gospel.
Yes.
Right? The highest level. So people are returning back to those things where it's like, well, what does the gospel give us? This is what Tom Holland teaches, is that Christianity actually gives us our values. The values that we have in America and in the West, if you will, come from Christian values.
Yeah.
From Christianity, right?
Right.
And so we're looking and longing for kindness, for goodness, for truth, for beauty. because that's what it provides us, right?
Yeah.
So they're longing to go back to those things.
Well, it's interesting because, Maslow's hierarchy of needs,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
It's everybody kind of hangs their hat on that. Well, in the marketing world anyway, they hang their hat on that. Okay, we need to move through these. We need to make sure these are all addressed and blah, blah, blah. But they don't realize that has its core in biblical in biblical values and biblical things as well. It's all rooted back into the Bible, and people are just completely unaware. Tell me one of your, I'm going off. I don't know why have questions for you in front of me. I don't even know why I have this.
Squirrel.
Somebody just throw it on the floor. What is the most, because you are the director of spiritual development at Foundation. And for you guys that don't know, Foundation's a local Christian school. It's an amazing school. It's K through 12, right?
Right.
Preschool actually through 12.
Mm-hmm.
And in that role, because that's an amazing role. Mm-hmm. First of all, how did you feel when you were even asked to take on that role? Because that would, for me, I would just be like, I get to do what?
Yeah. So, background, I have spent many decades serving as a pastor within the context of church, right?
Yeah.
And so, interestingly, I've served as a worship pastor, have also served as executive pastor. And so it was serving in those roles that then the school comes along and says, hey, would you consider and would be a part of what we're wanting to do, where we're wanting to go? We're a Christian school, but are we really?
Yeah.
So that was the question, which is wonderful. So it was, well, we say we're a Christian school and we kind of slap a little bit of scripture onto this and a little scripture onto this, but are we really jumping in and really understanding what it means to be either a school that's Christian or a Christian school,
Yes.
right? Mm-hmm. So the role is unique. It's unique in many ways, and it's kind of a new trend, which I'm just now 2 years in learning in the Christian school areas. This is a new trend around the country.
Okay.
Christian schools kind of sitting up and going, now we say we are, but our graduates are not necessarily staying within the church or staying within. So that some of them are just kind of walking away when they graduate. Why would that be?
Yeah.
So
I'm so glad they're asking the question.
Yes.
To have the awareness.
Yes. To assess
and to
that.
care. Yes.
And to care. So the position itself is what I do is I bring teaching and instruction to the teachers, to the staff, to the faculty in biblical worldview. So what I do is I not only give them instruction on how to do this in an immersive way, but I also bring them up to speed in apologetics. So competing worldviews. So I just finished a instructional video for them. It's a 10-minute instructional video of, in the classroom, what happens when relativism comes. What is relativism? What does it sound like? How do you know? Now, how do you respond, right? And you respond in such a way that the kids can see the fallacy of relativism. So it's things like that it's like, that makes a difference.
Yeah.
That makes a huge difference.
Well, they can own the outcome of that. The kids can own the outcome. So it's not information that's being told to them. It's something they're
experimenting with it, right? So that brings to the point of critical reasoning.
Yes.
So we live in probably one of the most, if not the most, anti-intellectual ages in recorded history.
It feels that way.
It's true. I mean, people make decisions, especially coming generations, make decisions based on their feelings, what feels right. And so critical reasoning is something that they don't have. That's a skill, and we would call that anti-intellectual. It's a product of postmodernism.
Okay.
So because of that, when you have a conversation with somebody, they say, I believe this is my truth. That's relativism, right? I'm sorry if I'm following this too far here. You can stop me. But
no, I'm not stopping you.
So I'm following this line of thinking because it's relativistic. I don't know it as relativistic, but I have my truth and you have your truth, and nobody has the right to tell anybody else they're wrong. That's relativism.
Yeah.
And my response typically with the student is, okay, is that your opinion or is that true? Because see, relativism says there's no truth and then presents that as a truth.
Yeah.
It's a direct fallacy. So those who are anti-intellectual grab that. Those who have critical reasoning skills look at it and go, that doesn't even make sense.
Yeah.
It's what we call philosophically a fallacy, and it's circular reasoning. So we teach that to our kids, just one of many things, and we help them understand how to embrace critical reasoning in an age where people are anti-intellectual.
Yes.
So if I'm talking to you and you don't have critical reasoning skills, and I ask you, I say, is that your opinion or just truth? You don't have the ability to wrap your mind around it. So what do they do? What typically we do in culture is la 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 la.
Or fight. Yeah.
I feel it, so it's therefore true.
Yeah.
That's
You
called,
hate me if you disagree also.
yes. You're racist, you're fascist, you're all these things.
Yeah.
How dare you disagree with me, right? And so that's called expressive individualism. We can also poke holes into that. So we do that with our kids. I'm just saying, if your kids are in public school, that ain't happening,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
And quite honestly, in a lot of Christian schools, that's not happening. It's changing.
Yeah.
At Foundation Academy, it's happening. It is happening.
Yeah.
And I love when the light bulb comes on for the kids. And then they go home and talk to their parents. Their parents then send up a white flag. They're like, okay, my kid's talking about this stuff and I ain't got a clue what they're talking about.
Yeah.
Help me understand.
Yes.
So then we help the parents understand,
Yeah.
right? And so then, this is so cool. It really is so cool. So a lot of times in the Christian world, we are accused of arriving at our determination of truth based simply on faith. That is not true.
Right.
That's not true.
Right.
We move from it being a possibility to a probability to move to certainty as a step of faith. But that last step of faith, we get there because we have good probability that these things are true because we arrive there through evidence, evidence that it's true, because God's word has evidence. His creation has evidence. So I know I'm talking on and on about this. You can see I'm passionate about
I
it,
love
but
it.
that's what we get to do. That's what I get to do with that next generation.
Yeah.
I love it.
That's why I asked you the question.
Yeah.
Because I know you're passionate about it. I knew that flood of amazing was about to come out. I want for other people to see that this is available, that this sort of like school experience is actually available. Because, it's like you said, schools are starting to do it, and we'll wrap in a second, but schools are starting to do it. There are Christian schools are starting to do it. But like it hasn't been a thing, and it hasn't been even an awareness, which meant that it just was not even a concern at all.
No.
And I'm in love with the idea that kids are being taught how to think critically about these things that the world just wants to tell you are true and just eat it or don't. And instead they can say like, well, it's not, and here's why, or not even talk about it, but just know.
Exactly.
To just know that your kid is equipped
Yes.
to be able to go out into the world and handle all of the crazy.
And crazy's here.
Yeah.
Right? Crazy has arrived. Crazy has
arrived. Crazy has entered the chat.
It has.
Yeah.
We're swimming in it, and it's a thing even for Christians, even for church, Bible believing, attending on a weekly basis, Christians who think they have a biblical worldview. Worldview is everything.
Yeah.
Worldview is how we see reality, right?
Yeah.
They think they have a biblical worldview, but yet they don't.
Yeah.
And you and I have done a little podcast thing where we talk about, the 4% or the 8% and the 9%. It kind of fluctuates of the evangelical Christians who actually have a biblical worldview.
Yeah.
The reality is they've adopted other competing worldviews, and they're all over the place and mixed it into a bowl and then consider that reality and truth. So what we hope to be able to do, and I say we hope to be able to do, what we do is we provide the
Yeah.
opportunity for them to see it through critical reasoning, logical skills, to be able to evaluate it and to be able to jettison the faulty ideologies. You know, get rid of that so that I can embrace truth.
Yeah.
And so even the parents, you know, and I think this is going to be a thing for the church too eventually, you know, because these kids that we're raising up are going to go back into the church and go, wait a minute,
Questions.
you know,
Yeah.
and can bring some evaluation and some change, right?
I love it.
Yeah.
Well, they're the future leaders
Yeah.
of the church, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
That's
sure are.
Man, Jeff, thank you for coming. We're gonna have to, we're gonna have to do another one of these, or maybe 5 or 10.
You just tell
whatever.
me when,
Yeah.
because
I love it. It's good.
wherever you want to go,
Yeah.
I'll be there. Because we're talking about this stuff. It's just too
We're
good.
not playing this game again, though. You're too good at it.
Well, you know,
So.
I have to be good at something,
Eh.
right? Look at that.
Oh my goodness. This is insane. All right. Well, Jeff, thank you for coming. Let's do a little cheers.
Cheers. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. And then we will see you guys. We'll see you next time. Adios.